Greetings, salutations, and welcome to After Action. I'm your host, Patrick Kreeger, and I'm joined by Steven once again.
Yeah. Deb. Same day, Deb.
Okay, yes, indeed, it is the same day. So we went from Love Lines to Hardbodies.
Hardbodies is the name of the movie. It's not like any kind of... We weren't on a website or something, if that's what it kind of made it sound like. And we did not suddenly go to the gym and get super buff in the meantime.
No, we did not, although they do mention going to the gym, and we'll get to that in a moment.
Yeah, Matt?
Watch, don't watch.
I'm gonna have to give this one a don't watch as well. Not because this is not nearly as like annoying or bad as Love Lines was, but it is still just as boring.
If you're looking for a beach sex comedy, I would say it's a watch. That being said, I personally wouldn't recommend watching it.
I suspect if you're looking for that, specifically a beach sex comedy, you've probably already seen this movie because you're a weirdo.
Yes, it is a very specific niche. And I think this is like one of, as far as I'm aware, this is the only one that fills that niche.
Yeah,
but I don't know
guess.
that much.
I mean,
about
we've only two deep into this collection. So, well, I've seen a couple or one other movie on here, and I know that it doesn't go there. But
yeah, so we don't know if we'll be able to find more.
Yeah,
beach
I don't
comedies.
know. I've watched one other movie on this collection prior to starting this, and it doesn't really fit that genre. We'll talk about that more when we get to it. But,
Indeed.
Yeah, I don't know how to.
Well, let's go with the description.
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
The description of this movie, for one, it's 87 minutes. Three middle-aged geezers move into a swinging beach house. They hire a young stud to teach them how to score with the local beauties. 80s band Vixen and hundreds of Southern California's hottest swimsuit models co-star in this legendary cult comedy.
Okay. If it's legendary, I've never heard of it. It does have a lot of attractive women in it. This is true. And it's much more gratuitous with the topless women aspect than Love Lines was.
As well as the humor.
And the humor was a little better.
Yeah, there was actually jokes.
There were some actual jokes, and some of them landed all right.
Particularly early in the film.
Yeah, particularly early. There's one really fun, actually genuinely funny visual gag that happens, but
okay.
I think it was actually funny, but
weird setup though.
It's a very strange setup. It's kind of forced.
Yeah.
But the gag is still solid, I think.
Maybe they had the effect and we're just trying to figure out how to work it in.
No, I think that was actually written that way. It's just silly. The gag would work better with a better setup for sure, but I still think it's an effective thing. But anyway,
we're going to be getting into spoilers now for those of you who care.
Yeah. Spoilers for a movie, Hardbodies. I guess
came out in 1984.
Well, before we hit spoilers, I'm going to say one thing. There's just to make sure to get people know what they're in for. Before the spoiler warning officially kicks in, there's 8 montages in this movie. There's 8. There's the same amount as Love Lines. I think it's slightly less overall time, though, because the songs don't run as long. But still, 8 montages, watch at your own peril.
And a lot of these montages were better.
Yeah, I guess. There's only one that's it's so bizarre that it's kind of interesting to watch.
The one at the mall?
No, the one with the guitar.
Oh.
That's the only one that I'm like, that's kind of...
I
just
forgot
because
about
it's
that
so
film.
weird.
I've seen this film before, and I forgot
it's
about
a montage, and also the film's only sex scene.
Yes.
It's very odd. And that it just makes it kind of interesting, but it's also...
Weird as hell.
Yeah, all these movies are weird. Well, I guess in the context of it being 2018, these are all weird as hell. In the context of the 80s, they're just kind of bad, low-budget boner comedy movies.
Is this what the 80s was like? Do we know
I'm not saying it's a realistic portrayal of the 80s existence, but I am saying that this is the heyday of these kind of movies.
This is true.
And, the 80s are just a terrible decade.
So,
Except for 89, that year was okay. But otherwise, just awful.
this film was apparently originally being made for Playboy TV, which I was unaware is or was a thing. But the other funny thing is they claim it's based on a true story. Now, they don't claim that in the movie, but the online communities claim that it's based on a Penthouse article that is based on a real story.
The director said that, right?
Yeah.
He said that was based off a Penthouse article, which, I mean, it's not that far-fetched of a concept, really, that I could see something like that happening. I mean, it doesn't make a very interesting movie, though. At least not in the way they presented it. Maybe in another context it could be, but I don't know. I don't see how, really.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a couple funny jokes with the older guys. There's a couple funny jokes with the younger guys.
It's mostly an excuse for topless women and a band that was trying to, make it.
Yeah, Vixen was in this film, for those of you who know Vixen.
Yeah, apparently they had some kind of top 100 hit at some point, but I've never heard of them.
I've never heard of them either.
I mean, good for them. They got a hit, but I don't think it was anything they were playing in this movie because it was all boring.
So we got a few things.
I guess spoilers starting now.
Oh, yeah. Again, critical to not get those spoilers.
I do want to say Patrick didn't pay attention and missed crucial plot details during one section of the movie.
Yes, I've seen this film before. I'm a connoisseur of these box sets. And typically what I do is I pull out a box set whenever I can get it for like $5 or less. I will throw it on and just have it on in the background while I do other things.
Yeah, he was watching this while doing other things several times, if you know what I mean.
Oh, God.
Like when when you're a teenager and you just watch certain things over and over.
I actually got this film out of this box set, I think, the summer before last.
You've had that a while then.
Yeah, I found this in Walmart has these bins of movies for like $5, movies for $3, and I saw a hard ticket for Hawaii on this, and I can't remember.
That's a great movie. We'll talk about that later.
Indeed, and so I bought this for hard ticket to Hawaii.
That's fair.
It just so happens that I'm now doing the shtick where we watch all the films.
Yeah, I think we should do hard ticket last, just to really because we've already all seen it.
This is true. And I do think we should do the Savage Beach series next because it is better.
Okay, we'll do that. Yeah, for sure.
So, anyway. There were some jokes that landed. There were some jokes that worked.
There were. I can't remember most of them now. But there were a few that landed. And because they're not particularly good, but at least it's something.
There is a plot, and the plot works.
There is a plot and a B plot.
Yeah.
And they're both understandable and clear, unlike Love Lines. There's no weird intermission with Michael Winslow to tell you what's happening because they didn't know what was happening when they were making the movie.
This was a real film.
Yeah, it has all the hallmarks of a real film.
Things happen.
Things happen, I guess.
There's sets.
There's actors. Now that I think about it, there wasn't really a lot of bad acting in the movie. I mean, there's nothing exceptional, but there wasn't anyone kind of like wooden or stiff in their acting, except maybe a
couple of the girls.
A couple of the girls were like, but you know,
as you
whatever.
see from the back of the box, they claim that they're models, not actresses. So
yeah,
there's that.
They were there to show their breasts. That's about it.
Yeah, and there is a lot of
and
that.
They did that admirably.
If that's what you're looking for in your fun-filled comedy, then
there are better options.
There are better options.
But anyway, so let's go over the main characters real quick. There's Scotty. He's the young boy who's the young lad who's going to educate these three older gents, who I've christened Bob Saget, Jason Alexander, and Burt Reynolds.
Fair enough.
Although one of the girls comments that Burt Reynolds looks like Robert E. Lee, and that's actually true. It's closer to Robert E. Lee, or maybe Ruther B. Hayes, because he's not really a white beard. He's like a brown beard.
It's kind of sad that the female characters aren't nearly as memorable as our male protagonists.
No, they're not. I don't remember what the main girl's name was. I think it was Christy.
That sounds
Kirsty or something, or Bob. I don't remember.
The only person I remember distinctly, like in terms of female character's name, that's not even from this film. That's from Love Lines.
Okay.
Great.
Perfect.
Great.
Amazing. Yeah, I'm probably thinking of Piper again.
No, Tamara.
I don't remember who that is.
It's
Anyway.
the woman who gets sexually assaulted on stage in the last film when she brings like the letter to the guy.
Oh, yeah.
Of who won the Battle of the Bands.
Yeah, that's not great. Speaking of sexual assault, that does happen in Hardbodies.
Yes, and Hardbodies are least interesting, I would say, of the old male guys.
Yeah, he turns into the antagonist of the film. He does. You're laughing, but he does. Oh. He becomes the antagonist.
I love that Hardbodies has an antagonist.
It does. When he tries to derail our young lad Scotty's love life, his relationship with the main girl.
He even tries
Christy.
to murder him.
I mean, I don't think he was actually trying to murder him, but he had a very high chance of doing so.
Yes. He hands him a glass of wine while the man is on like a 20-foot tall ladder and then just pushes him off.
Yeah, you could have just said he pushes him off the 20-foot tall ladder. A glass of wine is really inconsequential.
Well, I mean, it's a one-liner. Have a drink before you go.
Yeah, but he does push him off a very tall ladder that could very easily have killed or seriously injured him. And then he would have been dealing with a lawsuit, and he would have lost all of his fancy money anyway.
This is true. I want to point out a couple interesting things that I noticed. One, there's a beach bully character stereotype. His license plate number is Dirtbag, which is kind of clever.
Yeah. They kind of said, it seemed like they were going to be, him and his like crew were going to be the antagonists, but it turns out they weren't, except for the very beginning of the scene, which was more to establish Scotty and to like give some semblance of a like opposed plot. Well, initially.
Yeah, because you don't find out the other guy's the antagonist until much later. But they also give the reasoning for why he misses out on his opportunity to get back with his lady love, because he goes on a jet ski chase.
Yeah, it's a very contrived scene.
Yes, with motorized surfboards. I didn't know that was a thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not even like a consequential at all, really. I mean, I guess it kind of sets up that he doesn't get back together right away as some adversity. It is action, so I gotta say it had more than nothing on like Love Lines. So I'll give it credit there. And there's some great moments here. I want to point this out. So part of the plot, ladies and gents,
the main
plot is that these three older gents ask young lad Scotty to teach them how to pick up young women.
Yes.
And he does so through what he calls dialoguing a girl, which is a fancy word for saying pickup artist.
Well, actually, this is really interesting. According to the director of the film, they were actually trying to get new words into the English lexicon. Dialoguing was one.
Well, they ain't Shakespeare.
Oh.
So, yeah,
are you saying Hardbodies is not as good as Midsummer Night Dream?
I'm not. I'm saying it's not as good as that, but it is better than To Tame a Shrew.
Ooh.
Or The Taming of the Shrew. No, it's not. But, it's all right.
I can't remember any of the other words that they'd created. There were like five of them.
Did they?
Yeah, there were like five.
I don't remember any others that were... I mean, dialoguing is not even creating a word. I guess they must have made that, huh?
Yeah.
That's not a real one.
That's
I would have believed that was real lingo in Redondo Beach in the 80s, but fine.
No one says that.
The best character in the movie I wrote was the landlord.
Oh.
He shows up for, I think, a combined total of 40 seconds. Yes, but it's to evict Scotty, and then when Scotty tries to re-enter his apartment, which has been boarded up, sees well, it doesn't actually see it. We don't see it on camera either, but you get the sound effect of a dog or maybe several dogs, vicious dogs barking in the apartment, followed by the landlord coming out and laughing at him, and it's just great.
He wasn't laughing at him. He was barking at him.
I mean, but then he laughed after.
Well, that's
true.
He
does bark and then he laughs. It's great. He's a great character. There's also two pot smoking scenes. In both of them, no one actually takes a proper drag. They just try to fake it, and it looks terrible.
There's that awkward scene where they're in the bathroom.
Might have been real pot. That might be why.
They're having this awkward scene where our protagonists are talking in the bathroom, and it's just full of smoke.
Yeah, they hotbox the bathroom,
and they keep cutting to these girls needing to go to the restroom.
Yeah, that was an attempt at a joke. it didn't quite work, but it was at least something.
Yeah.
Then the movie does, however, establish, and I want to give it props here, a very clear line that no means no.
Yeah, that is actually kind of cool. That instantly makes one of the characters evil. Well, at least
he was already kind of a sleazebag, and he took it to the next level of being like an actual like scumbag. Yeah.
There's this girl that's constantly leading guys on, and so he decides like to just have his way with her, but luckily gets stopped.
He gets really handsy and gropey, and it's not good.
No,
and then Scotty calls him out on it appropriately,
and gets kicked out of the house, even though the other two guys are still on his side.
I guess, but then the other
guy,
schlubby Jewish guy didn't seem to really care much.
No, he didn't.
Only the
cowboy.
The cowboy guy, the Texas Burt Reynolds / Robert E. Lee, was like apparently the moral center of the movie. It's very odd.
Even though he referred to himself as the bull king, as he is a bull manure magnate.
Salesman, magnate apparently makes a lot. I mean, I could see that fertilizer sells a lot. Lots of people need it, so that's how he made his money. Good on him. I also wrote, because you saw the triangle. So Illuminati. This movie is sponsored and run by the Illuminati. Another reason why you shouldn't watch it, because it's mind control. Yeah,
that was really funny. In the guitar playing scene that you're talking about, the guitar playing montage, part of it is one of the female characters doing nude yoga on the beach with a pyramid for no apparent reason.
Yeah, there.
The nude yoga is for no apparent reason, and the pyramid is for no apparent reason.
Was she even doing yoga?
Yes, she was.
Oh.
Like those were actual...
She just poured like a perfectly good martini all over herself for no reason. Just wasted it. That was kind of a shame.
She apparently was hot.
I guess.
So martini is the way to cool down, apparently.
In Redondo Beach in the 80s. Maybe that was a thing.
Maybe. So... Anyway, yet another dud on the Life's a Beach.
Yeah, I did want to make one note for improvement. I said this movie would be better with ninjas, and I stand by that statement. Yeah.
Oh gosh, surf Nazis must die. Don't they have ninjas?
I think they do. Yeah.
This movie would be better with ninjas. Oh. Savage Beach.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Savage Beach, huh?
Savage Beach.
And maybe this would be better with some frisbee. Oh, you don't remember? That's okay.
Yeah, I don't get the reference.
That's all right.
But I guess we'll find out later.
Yeah.
So until next time, dear listener, thank you for joining us on this adventure to the shore, and see you.
See y'all later. Bye bye. Hi, Daryl.
Out there.